Has this ever happened to you? You check the weather forecast, it predicts rain, but you end up carrying your umbrella around on a beautiful sunny day. For several years, many people rely on weather predictions to plan their day, but presently, due to constant change in weather patterns, predicting the weather has become a difficult task for many people. Environmentalists say the change in weather pattern is a direct impact of climate change.
It is becoming obvious to every person on the planet Earth that climate change is real. We used to think it was scientific. We used to think it was some people who felt that they should have some job for themselves. And that's why now every person living on Earth needs to start taking climate change as a serious matter, because it affects you, it affects your life, it affects your family life.
Indeed, climate change is having visible effect on the world. The earth is warming, rainfall patterns are changing, and sea levels are rising. These changes have increased the risk of heat waves, floods, droughts, and fires.
The recent events have actually made the world to wake up much more than before. The heat wave that affected Europe, the series of fires in California, the melting of glaciers over the highlands of Pakistan are all signals that we have no choice but to accept one fact. Climate will continue to change. It is our responsibility to try to understand it and adapt to it as much as possible so that it does not wipe us out.
Climate scientists warn that we are already perilously close to tipping points that could lead to cascading and irreversible climate impacts.
Among the most vulnerable are communities in exposed mountain and coastal regions like Lagos.
All I think that Lagos needs to do further, in addition to the implementation of the action plan, is to set up a particular technical committee. There is a need for Lagos to take that aspect seriously and see how we can really address the challenge of channeling the water across the Lagos area in collaboration with adjacent states.
Let us change our consumption styles so that we reduce emissions into the air. The emissions we think are not harming us, they are harming us. We are screaming, try and do waste to wealth, try and reduce, try and recycle, try and sort your waste. We're saying this because invariably waste that is not sorted end up in the canals and the water courses, and once you block the canals, flood water is unable to go away, they will come back to meet you in your sitting room.
To stem the tide of climate change, a growing coalition of countries have pledged to get to net zero emissions.
And the science is clear. To keep the 1.5-degree limit agreed in Paris within reach, we need to cut global emissions by 45% this decade. But current climate pledges would mean a 14% increase in emissions. We must triple the speed of the shift to renewable energy. And that means moving investments and subsidies from fossil fuels to renewables now.
Climate change affects everything from the weather to geopolitics and economies. It shapes cities and life expectancies. Therefore, saving lives and livelihoods requires an urgent action for all. The time to act is now. Bukola Taylor Cole, LTV News.